Central Services.
Central Services.
Oh, yes. You rang, sir.
You rang, sir.
Trouble with your air conditioning?
Air conditioning, sir.
No, it's all right. It's fixed. It's fixed.
Fix.
Yes, I mean, it fixed itself.
Oh, it fixed itself.
Fixed itself. These don't fix themselves.
No, they don't fix themselves, sir.
He's tampered with it.
I think he's tampered with it, Mr. Stewart.
Sorry you've had a wasted journey.
I
think we will have a little look at you. No, you can't.
think we should do, yes. Mr. Stewart.
Have you got a 27B stroke 6?
27B stroke 6. 27B stroke 6.
Now look what you've done to him. Well, have you got a 27B stroke 6?
No. As such.
Chris Gouser here with
Matt Howell. And this week on the first run, we decided to stay in and see what all the fuss was about with something called, well, Chris called it Train Wars, but it's actually called Train Dreams.
I couldn't remember. I just knew it had someone to do with trains, and one of them transforms and they fight. I think it's something.
Yeah,
like
that's right. They had a war, right? Yes, but instead, no, we had a thoughtful treatise on life and what it means to be a man with train dreams, right?
Now, are you a train guy growing up? Did you like trains?
Not really. They weren't
Did
my
you model
thing.
trains?
No, I didn't. Didn't really get into it. What about you?
My grandfather, every year at Christmas, he had a little steam train thing. He had built this whole like board thing, and it had two trains that go around the Christmas tree. It was gigantic, and it was really cool. A lot of fond memories with that. My sister, I believe, has the whole getup.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's ever actually put it together though, but I like that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and I still want to go on a big train ride at some point, like up and down the East Coast or something.
yeah. Well, I mean, they have those ones out west where you like, Orient Express and stuff like that are supposed to be really pretty.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Great.
Trains.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you give us a little bit of Train Wars, aka Train Dreams?
Sure. Oh wait, no, yeah, I got to play you a clip.
That's
I was
right.
gonna tell you about it.
Yeah, right.
Let's hear this instead. This is actually going to fill you in a lot.
His name was Robert Grainger, and he lived more than 80 years in and around the town of Bonners Ferry, Idaho. In his time, he traveled west to within a few dozen miles of the Pacific, though he'd never seen the ocean itself, and as far east as the town of Libby, 40 miles inside Montana. When he was sent by himself to the town of Fry, Idaho, he was 6, or possibly 7. He never knew for sure the year or day of his birth. How he had lost his original parents, nobody ever told him.
So, co-written and directed by Clint Bentley, who had previously directed the film Jockey from 2021, which I didn't see, but I remember hearing good things about. Well, Bentley returns now with Train Wars, which is a story about, as you heard, Robert Grainger, played by Joel Edgerton. And it basically just takes us through his life, all the magic, the experience, the loss, the heartbreak, all of that of a man in a simple time post-World War I, just trying to get by with his wife and his young child, trying to just pay the bills. So he is a logger. And eventually, though, he tires of it. It's dangerous work, finds other stuff, and doesn't quite pay as well. And then it's just all the happenstance and circumstances and things that happened to him through the intervening years. Matt, a lot of people are calling Train Dreams one of the best films of the year. I think the critic over at Vulture, who I'm blanking on right now, said it was the best film of the year. Getting a lot of praise online. And I agree with some of it. Other stuff I'm not so sure about. What are your thoughts on Train Dreams?
Well, it seems like it's another one of those, slice of life, follow a simple person. I think we're getting a lot of these kind of films, right? And there may be some differences around the specifics, but they had, we just saw Life of Chuck, right? Which is basically similar with some, other aspects thrown into it, right?
Certainly more fantastical.
Mm-hmm. There was that Tom Hanks movie where they lived in the house and it was all basically everything happened around a specific room in the house and like their whole family's life and things like that. So I guess it doesn't really seem groundbreaking, but I think it's relatively well done. I mean, it certainly tugs at the heartstrings. It kind of gives you a calm sense of this person's life and how you can relate it to your own life. And I think overall movies like this I generally enjoy if they're done well, and this is done well. I don't know if it's, if it's anything super special. I don't know about that, but it's good.
Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I mean, it is beautifully shot, very lush. It made me upset the fact that I was watching this on my television at home and I didn't experience this in a theater. It's just beautiful. But there are some things, I think the fantastical elements that do exist in this film undermine the narrative for me a bit, like his interaction with the feral wolf child. I'm assuming maybe that's a vision and really not, or a dream and not an event that occurred. And I also agree. Robert Daniels wrote that Edgerton's character is just a little too passive of a character in his own story. Now, I appreciate that's probably clearly a decision because his life is unremarkable outside of the tragedy he experiences. But he's not a great man known for any great things. He's just a gentleman who lived. He had a life, he experienced some horrible things, and he died. And there is a sweet kind of poetic nature to something like that, where many of us, likely myself, probably not Matt, will not be remembered at all, right? We'll have just existed, did what we did, and eventually we'll move on. And I think I appreciate that about the film. I just keep getting hung up on some of the fantastical nature things that occur in it, because if we stuck straight to a more reality-based experience, I think maybe I would have emotionally connected with the film a little bit more than I did outside of just the awe of the beauty. And I will say though, from the jump, all I could think of was, I wonder when the next Terrence Malick movie's coming out. Because there's a lot of that influence on here, right? It's like Diet Malick to me. It's like something I can watch while I wait for him to put out another film. I don't know, but like Daniel said too, all of these events kind of happen to him. He's a passenger through most of the life and most of his experiences, which I guess some of us are. And actually, was a big issue for me, Matt, for most of my life as I've kind of grown through therapy, and is I always would kind of just sit back and just let things happen. I was always a passenger, and then I would get resentful because then of not asserting myself and doing and saying things that I think I should do or things I think I should say. So, but there's a lot of beautiful moments, like the trees that growing in the boots, around the boots, and when we'll find out what that actually means later on. I don't know. I'm torn on this because there's a lot of it that I loved. I loved Edgerton's performance in this for the most part, but I struggled with his passivity. I'm a man of contradictions, Matt. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes it more real, right? Not everybody's a hero. Most people aren't. Most people's lives are unremarkable, and most people are, passive, right? And most people, they're the hero of their own story, but if you laid it out to somebody who wasn't there, it would seem, boring, rote. And that's fine. I think there's something okay with that. And I wasn't put off by the whole fantastical elements. I just kind of assumed it was part of his kind of coming undone because of his personal tragedy and kind of being alone all the time. And then that kind of lack of connection was kind of making him, think dreams are real or whatever. So I didn't have a problem with any of that, but I agree with you. I was like, oh, here we go. When you mentioned Terrence Malick, I was like, oh, this is like Tree of Life, part 2, the student film kind of version of Tree of Life. And I agree with you. It's beautiful. I think there's things that people can relate to. I think it's, artfully done. I just don't think it's anything we haven't seen necessarily before, but it is enjoyable.
Yeah, I also, too, there's a lot of interesting kind of very lived in and authentic performances here. I loved William H. Macy, Carrie Condon, Felicity Jones, Clifton Collins. Like, all of these people have these moments, and I think it's one of the strengths of the film is that I appreciate that through the journey of his life, he meets people that are like physical representations of the decisions he's made or the decisions he hasn't made. And there's something about that I found really engaging. And again, it's all due to the strength, I think, of all the other surrounding performances, not just Edgerton as well. So, yeah, I don't know. One thing that I thought was interesting, Matt, I'm assuming you haven't read the novella that this is based on. I know you're the more literate of the two of us.
No, I haven't read it, no.
So I read online, somebody said, well, I wonder how the film, because that they hadn't seen it, deals with the actual story that the film is based on. One of them is, which I didn't realize, so I was intrigued by that. Like, oh, what could this controversy be? Well, one of them is, and in the opening of the film, so his character, Edgerton's character, is haunted by the death of a Chinese railroad worker. So at the time, there was a lot of bigotry towards the Chinese immigrants who helped really build the railroad in this country. In the book, he's a participant in that. He's not a bystander watching what happens and kind of turning away in shame. He actually participates in trying to kill him. Now, in the book, the guy gets away. He doesn't die. But he's part of the mob who tries to kill him. And the Chinese, and it's not those strictly because he's Chinese. In the book, he gets caught stealing from the town railroad company commissary thing. So that, and then the rest of them kind of try and kill him, but he gets away. They try and throw him off the railroad, But anyway, I thought that was interesting how it shifts, and it certainly gives us a more sensitive portrait of who Robert Grenier is. Because it started off with him being one of the people throwing the guys off the edge, I think it would definitely have a different perspective of him. Instead of, again, but also that's an action, which he doesn't really do in this film. He's much more passive in the movie. So, I don't know. I'll say this. It had me thinking. And it is gorgeous. It's worth watching just for that. So, the film really has a visual poetry to it. Probably more so than anything I can think of that I've seen this year. So I'll give it that for sure, Matt. I'm giving Train Dreams a B+.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving it as well. I'm giving it a B+. I think it's worth your time. Like I said, you can stay in. Doesn't require a lot of effort in you to go interact with the public at large, which is always a benefit as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, check it out.
There you go. It's also, too, narrated by Will Patton, who actually narrates the audiobook, the novella. So if you want a little consistency and you like to listen to your books instead of read them, you can get kind of a similar experience. So there you go. If you've had a chance to see Train Dreams, shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. We'd love to hear from you. I wonder if it'll make anybody's year-end list. I'm assuming, obviously, it's got a great score on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's in the 90s. So people seem to really like it. And it's a shame that Netflix bought this. And I think, from what I understand, it did get a limited theatrical release, but nowhere around me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's been a very good year for films.
I don't know about that. I think also we're very backload heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of stuff that that's coming up that I want to see that we haven't seen yet. Though I think there have been some absolute standouts this year too. So I'm a little bullish yet on this yeyear. I think it's going to be a good year. I know we're already into December, but
yeah, we got 4 weeks left. They better pick up the pace here a little bit.
A little bit. What else? Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. You can stream it on Netflix right now. Okay. Matt brought something to my attention too that I thought we could spend a couple minutes on just to squeak us out over that 20-minute mark that I'm very kind of concerned about, Matt.
Okay.
So why don't you tell us what is that?
First run favorite director, Quentin Tarantino, has been getting a lot of I guess I've seen him pop up a lot in various news formats, right? I mean, I think he ended up canceling the Movie Critic And there's a lot of talk about how he maybe starting to get cold feet because he really wants to go on a super high note if he's going to only limit himself to 10 films. But he was on this...
Which he won't.
He was on this website called World of Real, where he listed his top 20 films. And he has some very interesting choices. His number 1 is Black Hawk Down. His number 5 is There Will Be Blood. He said if Paul Dano wasn't in it, it would probably be up to 1 or 2, which I thought was an interesting take. And then it gets, and there's some things on here, like I see, like, okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. But then he's got things like Jackass, the movie, The Passion of the Christ, The Devil's Rejects, Cabin Fever for some reason. So it was a very interesting list, and I'm not quite sure where we want to land with this.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, disappointed too by the lack of international films. I mean, there's a couple, right? Chocolat, right? I believe is. No, I've never seen it. To be honest with you, School of Rock, I haven't seen. I haven't seen Jackass. I was never a Jackass fan. Big Bad Wolves too, right? That was I don't know. Of course, Battle Royale. That's a whole other thing. You can talk about that with what he said about that film. But it seems very much, at least his top 10, screams to me kind of like middle-aged guy list, like a middle-aged dad movie list.
Okay.
And it's just odd to me how, in a weird way, just uses, I think I used this word earlier, just how pedestrian it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the list of an auteur.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how I read it, And I guess we can even skip over the fact that there's a Woody Allen movie in the top 10 at this point. But I know a lot of people like Midnight in Paris, but I really can't stand Owen Wilson. And also too, I'm not a big fan of this Paul Dano slander. I think he's very good in There Will Be Blood. Weak sauce my ass.
Well, are you concerned then if we listed out our top 10 films, would we have pedestrian, middle of the road taste dad films? I probably would. I'm
sure I would, but I'm not
Quentin Tarantino.
What Chris would have said years ago, one of the greatest living directors of my right now. Yeah, no, I'm not that either.
Right. Well, I guess what's funny is that part of why he is limiting to himself to 10 films is because he feels like people lose it, right? As you get older, right? You lose your kind of artistic touch. And this almost screams that he's already lost it. Is that, that the things that inspired him when he was, young are no longer the things that inspire him now. And granted, a lot of these films are a lot of fun. I just wouldn't put them necessarily on my top list.
Well, we should do this then, Matt. We should do a top 10 of the 21st century. Is that what it is?
Is it? Oh, I thought it was, let's see. What is this thing? Yeah. Top 20 films of the 21st century.
I have not watched Black Hawk Down, I think, since it came out.
Sure. I've seen it, caught it here and there, like on cable and stuff. It's an interesting film. I will say that. I mean, they've got like Ewan McGregor and that other Ewan from Train Spotting trying to do these American accents, and they're just terrible at it. It's so bad. It's like it's some of that kind of takes me out of it, but other parts of it are great.
I remember just it was a very visceral experience when I saw it. I bought that special edition like DVD when it came out years and years ago, and I did upgrade it to 4K when it was like $10, I think, like a few months ago. So I probably should check it out again. But the rest of it's no Wong Kar-wai, no Park Chan-wook's, no Nicholas Winding Refn. What is that about?
Yeah, if somebody can't get on board with It's Hard to Be a God, come on.
What?
Or no, not Only God Forgives. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, sorry.
I got offended by that. I would go with Drive, though. Obviously, I would probably go with Drive with one reference.
Well, we should do that. We should do that, before the end of the year. We should give our 21st, maybe not 20 films, but we can do 10.
Yeah. I agree with Zodiac for sure. And I've said There Will Be Blood is the best film of the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that many, many times, at least for me. Although I haven't watched that in a very long time either. So, yeah, no, that sounds like a plan. Did you partake in the Criterion sale?
Not really. I got a couple
Barnes
things.
Noble 50% off
sale. Chris, I have really been trying to curb my spending. Like, I have too many collections. I've got a good sized house, and just shit is just overflowing everywhere. Like I just don't have space for it because it's just I've got so much stuff. So I'm really trying to
I got
stuff.
a kid too. I don't have that. I got a dog. Look, I got a dog that was going through allergy. I just dropped $1,400 on a allergy test for my
Oh
dog.
wow! And
Now I would spend 3 times that if I had to, but still, it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
that is a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
We have pup insurance.
Yeah.
So we're waiting to hear back how much we're going to get reimbursed on that, but I don't think it's going to be $1,400.
No, I doubt it's going to be very much. They're going to say that's elective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I got the Wes Anderson set.
Oh, did you pull the trigger on that
Yeah.
finally?
What's that?
You pulled the trigger on that finally, huh?
Yeah, well, I've been sitting on a $100 Barnes & Noble gift card for a year.
Yeah.
I got it, I think, like last year or something. All right, yeah. So Mrs. First Run, I got received, I guess, through work thing or something like that. She's like, "Do you want to use this?" I'm like, "Yes." So I've been sitting on that. So a $500 box set, Matt, I got for like $150. So
Nice. Now your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to open it and watch those films.
it is still sealed right now. Yeah, I haven't even opened it yet.
I mean, but that's okay. I mean, you only had it for a relatively short amount of time. I mean, think of all the
Yeah,
things.
like a week and a half.
Yeah, think of all the things you've had for months and or years that you haven't even opened.
I'm looking around my office right now. I actually had to condense a bunch of stuff too. So I have, for the uninitiated, I convert a lot of my movies into these leather binders. Well, I think it's faux leather, but these binders, and it gets its own slip. Matt actually does like paper sleeves, right, with like the little clear window on them or something. So, but I have these binders, and I'm out of space, so I bought another batch of binders. But the ones I have, it's like one movie per sheet. These new ones, it's like the CD wallets, but they're really nice looking. But it's 4 discs per side, or 4 discs per, and I hate it. But I can't find the ones I like anymore because they're too old. They don't make them anymore. So I converted all of my comedy Blu-rays and 4Ks into the new one because I don't really care about that. So I've opened up 4 binders for expansion into other stuff. So I have them all organized by genre. So I have action adventure, then I have a lot of comedy now in one. I have drama, I have horror, mystery slash thriller, and then sci-fi.
Wow. See, I used to do that, try and sort them by genre and then by alphabetical order, but then I could still never find anything. So what I got now is this spinning tower. It's like this. It holds like 1,500 Blu-rays or something like that, and I just filled it up and you just spin it. So it's like, oh, I want Aliens. I know it's on this side. So it's this big ridiculous piece of furniture that's my end game of trying to deal with this stuff anymore.
I like that. You have to send me a picture. Text me a picture if I want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't have the room in my office for it. I also have a bunch of old IKEA bookshelves. And what I do is the Criterions don't get converted. They don't get condensed into binders. Criterions stay as they are. And then I have all my special edition stuff. Like, so I have Arrow. I did this. I go back and forth and just going alphabetical all the way through. Right now I actually have it by studio. So I have Arrow. And then I go with like BFI. I only have a few BFIs. Blue Underground, and then Grindhouse, Kino Lorber, Second Sight, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, and I'm forgetting the other one, Severin. And then I have my Scream Factories on the back wall. So all my Scream Factories are right there. And then a bunch of just other random stuff that I just have to organize. Just special editions, box sets, things like that.
Yeah.
You know. I have a bunch I have to convert now into my newly free opened up binders.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I just don't have the room. Like, I really got to be careful. Like, I must have gotten rid of hundreds of books off of my bookshelf, and it's still full after condensing. And it's just, I just got too much stuff, Chris. It's like, it's just consuming me.
I've shifted more to digital stuff too, which pains me to say.
Yeah.
But like, I was hunting down the Omen box set for the longest time, and the Scream Factory, which I think is out of print or at least hard to find. And it was on during Halloween season. It was on iTunes for like $10 for all of them, and I was like, "Screw it,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get that." And then we got to do with iTunes. You can, unlike I think Amazon and stuff, you can download it.
right.
So I download the file and I save it in an external hard drive and in another drive as well, just in case as a backup. So.
Yeah, I mean there are some things that I do like. There's the only thing I'm looking for that's weird is I like to have some of the TV shows I really like on digital, on physical media. So I really like the Hannibal TV show, but I never got the 3rd season, which it was only 3 seasons, and you can't find it anywhere. It's like out of print. So if you ever see it while you're looking around, pick it up for me and I'll pay you back if it's not too expensive.
I'll check it out. The Viper Video here in Tampa. I'll see if Shelby's got it. So he doesn't get that much TV stuff anymore. He just doesn't really move. But all right, I guess that's that. Well, something else I was gonna say to you. The Scream Factory or Shout Factory has the Hong Kong classic stuff, right? All those classic films. I got City on Fire. I didn't jump on Hard Boiled because it's now you can't get it. It's out. But I think they're going to get more. From what I understand, it's just there's not enough printing presses anymore for physical media. So eventually it'll come back around. But Arrow is doing them as well. So, and I believe the transfers are going to be a higher bit rate. So if you're into all those classic Hong Kong films, you may want to look at imports because they're going to be 4K, they're going to be region free, and you might be getting a better transfer. And it'll be a fancier thing now. Granted, if you want a big box set, $40, $50 a pop. But that's what Shouts Factory's charging $40, $50 too. So I also have the Better Off Tomorrow trilogy too, which I'm itching to watch. That's a Shout Factory though as well.
Well, are you
all right?
Are you going to? You got time off for hopefully around the holidays. Maybe you can sit around and watch some of this stuff.
Yeah, the thing I want to do for the longest time is to rewatch the Lord of the Rings extended editions over the holidays.
I watch that once a year usually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Wait, I have that here, don't I?
Good.
Nope, that's the wrong one. That's just Arnold. You know what I was thinking? I should consider switching my soundboard because it's harder to find stuff on this one.
Oh, good for you.
There it is. Matt, what's coming up next week on the big show?
We're watching some looks like throwback adventure film called Reflection in a Dead Diamond that I've never seen.
Oh, so you haven't seen the trailer for this, have you?
No, I haven't.
I'm torn on this. Part of me wants to say you need to watch the trailer right now,
Right.
or you need to go in ice cold. I can't decide.
I think I'm going to go in ice cold at this
point.
point. I'm going to go in ice cold at this point.
Smart.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer and I'm like, oh dear God, we have to watch this. So it drops on Shudder this Friday, December 5th. Matt's on the fence. I will be going to see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair this Friday as well. So I will report back next week about what that experience was like as well.
Okay. 4 hours in the theater. Get ready.
4.5.
Wow. It's crazy.
In the meantime, you can find us on E-I-O-U, sometimes Y. I'm going to say Instagram and Blue Sky and YouTube. Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Head on over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. It'll help other people find the show. Just do it. And then go to thefirstrun.com. There's a little player. You can just start playing all the episodes as a report card. You can see the grades that we gave the films over the years as well. And archive of the entire show is available on there as well. And that's going to be that. So, Matt, why don't we go ahead and take an extended break? And that's that. We're going to take an extended break. We love you all very much. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And take care of yourselves. And we will see you soon.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
Oh, I need to provide context for that. I'm not supposed to have a stinger for something we never mentioned. I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Matt, for the first time in like 35 years this week for Thanksgiving. And it was okay. It wasn't as good as I remembered, but John Candy's fantastic in it. That scene where Steve Martin kind of rips into him, his reactions are like devastating. And it's absolutely, Candy is absolutely fantastic in that. There's that documentary on Amazon too that I want to check out. It's supposed to be very, very good. So that was Point Trains and Automobiles. I was supposed to talk about it earlier in the show. All right. Goodbye.